Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today this is the multi-strand necklace that I will be making. Most of the components came from the bargain bead box for the month of March 2024. And if you're interested in the bargain bead box, I will have all the information in the description box below. I definitely think you should go check them out, and when you do, you want to use my code. That code is Casey2, and that code will get you $2 off your first order from their website or $2 off your first month subscription. So if you would like to see how this necklace came about, then stay tuned. And we'll start with the tools that I'll be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of cutters, 1 set of crimping pliers, and I will be using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright, which is this silver color. And I know you see all this red copper, but I assure you when everything's put together, you won't even be able to notice that this is silver. And I always get the 100 feet because I go through it so quickly. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set, and it is very high quality, very well made. And the biggest thing for me is the size. It's made just a little bit bigger. You can see a lot of times jewelry making tools are made like this one here, just a little bit smaller. And they certainly function, but these just seem to be made for adult size hands. And you can see the grips are quite a bit larger as well. So I will have the link for these in the description box below, along with everything else I use in the video that did not come from the bead box. I will also link below the opening video I did for the bargain bead box, and it will have a detailed description of everything I use that came from the box, like this focal pendant. From my own stash, I'm going to be using these 4mm pearls, these 4mm spacer beads, and these flower bead caps. I will also be using all the findings, the jump rings, crimp tubes, crimp covers, the lobster clasp, and I will also be using this really cool, very pretty bail. And I have already cut a piece of wire. It's about 14 inches long. I'm going to put on a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. I'll put it through one side and wrap it around, put it through the other. And I want to make sure that jump ring is up in the wire guardian, and I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers. And I want both ends of the wire through that crimp tube. I'm going to pull on the longer end. I don't need the tail quite that big. And I know these parts are small, but you want to make sure that wire is separated underneath that crimp tube. And I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. Get that taco shape. Turn it on its side, go into that first divot, give it another smash, and then I'm going to take that flat part on the end and give it another smash. That gets it nice and snug. And then I'm going to take that crimp cover and put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, and then flip it up, and I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash, and then go front to back, give it the round shape, just like that. And that is how I start each strand. So now it's just the order of the beads. And this is going to be the focal strand. I'm going to start by putting on a 4mm pearl and get that tail in there real quick. And I'm going to be using these really pretty spacer beads that came in the box. And here is the setup, the component. So we'll push this down. And you want to make sure that last bit of the tail goes in just like that. And now we're going to do this exact thing one more time. And there we have it. And now we're going to do the center component. And we're going to start just like this, just like we started the other components, with a pearl, a bead cap, and one of the 10mm beads. But then we're going to be using the color mixture rondelles. And I just picked 2 of the random colors. Put one on. And where the bail is going to be in the center, I'm going to have 3 spacer beads, just like this. And then when I put on this bail, it's going to go very easily over these 3 spacer beads, but it is going to stop at that rondelle. And we're going to put another rondelle on the other side. So that bail is going to be able to move freely over those spacers here in the center. And now we already have the rondelle on, just like this one here, and we'll put the rest of the side just like this over here. All right, so here is the full strand, and I just love the neutral colors. I think they're so, so pretty. So now we're gonna close this end off. Put on a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. Put it through one side, wrap it around, put it through the other. And I have that jump ring up there again, and I'm gonna pinch it closed with my fingers. And put both ends of the wire through the crimp tube. I'm gonna pull it down. And now I'm gonna put the end of the wire, the tail, through the first couple of beads. Just like that. I'm gonna hang on to this here at the end and pull it snug. And here's where you want it to be balanced, because you wanna pull it really snug. You don't want any spaces or gaps in the beads, but you also don't want it to be too snug, so you want to make sure it's got some flexibility. I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot, give it a good smash, get that taco shape, turn it on the side, go into the first divot, give it another smash, and now I'm going to go in with that flat part on the end, give it the final smash, nice and snug. I'm gonna take that crimp cover, put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, and flip it up. I'm gonna go in with my chain nose pliers, give it a gentle smash, and it's always hard to see on this side, but I'm gonna go front to back, just like I did on the other crimp cover, give it that round shape, just like that. I'm gonna go in as close as I can with my cutters. I'm gonna go in with my thumb, just kind of pop it into the next bead, that little nub. And there you have it. There is the strand. Started and stopped the same way. Very beautiful. I chose this particular bail, mainly because I just really like it, but I really think that it goes with this pendant very, very well. Just the design, the swirls. So now we're going to connect these two. So I have my jump ring. I'm going to open it, put it on the bail, and then put on the pendant and close it. So there you have it. There is the focal strand, and I just think that's beautiful. I absolutely love that. So I have already made the two shorter strands. Here is the next one, and this is the shortest strand, and I just had to use that rondelle mix. Like I said in the opening video, I just think this color mixture is absolutely beautiful. And then here is the middle strand. And for this one, I used some of these drop beads from my own stash, and then of course some more of the rondelles and the spacers here in the middle. And all of these strands are started and stopped the same way. So here are the three strands. And the way I do the length of my strands to make sure they hang the proper way, I usually use the rule of about an inch. So each strand is approximately 1 inch shorter than the previous strand. So my longest strand here, including all the findings and everything, is about 8 inches. The next strand, of course, about 6.5. The next strand, about 5.5. So like I said, my rule of thumb for multi-strand necklaces so that they hang properly is about an inch between. So now we're going to use these chandeliers that came in the box on either side. And I'm using the jump rings that are already on the ends of the strands. I'm going to start with the longest one, open it, put it on the outside loop, close it, and the center strand, take that jump ring, open it, put it in the middle, and close it, and the shortest strand, put it on obviously the only one left, and close it. So one thing before you do the other side, you do want to kind of let them hang and make sure they're not, twisted in any way. But then you go ahead and put them on the other side the same way. All right, so here it is. And I think it does hang just perfect. So pretty. So I'm using the chain that came in the box. I'll take another jump ring, go to the loop at the top, and then the last link of the chain, close it, and take another jump ring, and the opposite last link. And on this one, we're going to take the lobster clasp and close it. And you put the chain on the other side the same way, except for instead of ending with a lobster clasp, you're going to end with a larger jump ring. So here we go. And now we will connect it just like that. And here is our clasp. And here is the piece, and I will set it up on my display so that we can see it better. All right, so here it is, and I love it. I absolutely love this strand. And these rondelles, I know they seem to be just simple rondelles, see a lot of them, but this color palette, this color mixture, I don't know why it's standing out to me so much. So we have the main strand with the rondelles here, and then we have a hint of them in the other strands, but then of course we have the focal strand. I really like these 10mm beads too. Very, very pretty. And I really think the chandeliers and this pendant go really well together along with this bail. It just comes together so nice, in my opinion. I really, really enjoy this one. So once again, if you are interested in the bargain bead box, I will have all the information in the description box below. When you go check them out, you want to use my code. That code is Casey2. And that code will get you $2 off your first order from their website, or $2 off your first month subscription. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos just like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I would love to hear what you think of this necklace. I love reading my comments. You guys are so, so kind, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.